Hell yeah, welcome to the Amateur Hour Podcast 69. This is your boy Show Around, the legend himself, Tim Jones. Our special guest down here today is Philip Freeman. Going to do a little talking about this, a little bit of that about that. We'll cover a little bit of everything, okay? Let's start the show off. Philip, come on in, say hey to the world, and we'll go from there, okay?
Hey, how y'all doing?
I'm lovely, thank you for asking.
I appreciate y'all having me on here.
Hey man, thank you for coming and doing what you did. So, tell us how old you was when you started. If a lot of young people don't know this man, he served in the military and he did this, he did that, and he's gonna give us a breakdown on what he's done throughout his career. I'm not sure how long it lasted. I don't know if he still does it, nothing. But he's gonna explain the ins and outs of it. We're gonna throw some questions at him and stuff like that. See if we can't touch all the bases. Let you know what it's like for a real veteran. That veterans should be celebrated. Okay? What you got? When did you start it all off? What made you decide to say, hey, I'm going to the Navy or whatever you did?
I was actually in the Army.
Okay,
Spent 10 years in. I went in. I was actually out of high school for a year. But I think I was actually probably around 6, 7 years old. I decided, I want to go in the Army.
Yeah.
I had family members that had served during World War II.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
I wanted to follow in their footsteps.
That's right, yeah.
And
a lot of families were like that back in the day.
Oh,
Everybody went, yeah.
Yeah, and I went in, and like I said, I went in 92, and my first duty station was in Washington State. I was in combat engineers.
Yeah.
And I think the first one of them got a screw tight at all, if they've even still got their screw.
All right, what is combat engineers?
Combat engineers.
I mean, that's a fancy word for what?
They build airstrips, roads, buildings on the front line. They're actually the first ones to go in and build an airstrip under.
Like they did in Vietnam and Desert Storm and all that. They went in and did the shit so everybody can get there and kick ass. I got you.
Yeah, during Desert Storm, Desert Shield, a lot of the airfields that you see in videos and all of footage of over there are actual airstrips that my unit built.
No shit.
Yep.
That's freaking cool.
And if I know everybody's seen the armored bulldozer that the guy tore at City Up with. Mm-hmm. They actually had armor-plated bulldozers in my unit.
Really?
Yes. And you ever see a bulldozer with bulletproof glass that makes you wonder, why am I here?
Yeah, that's right. I bet so. Golly. I couldn't imagine going through that shit trying to build an airstrip or whatever. That's crazy. No, go ahead. I'm sorry about that, but go ahead. I just wanted to,
After I got there, I stayed there for 4 years. Then I went to Baumholder, Germany. Volunteered to go there.
Really?
And you know how you always hear people say it's uphill both ways?
Yeah.
In Baumholder, Germany, it is literally uphill every which way you go.
Really?
It's basically in the bottom of a little valley.
Really?
It's in the foothills of the Alps.
Wow.
Cold during the winter.
Was a lot of pretty women over there?
It was.
You couldn't understand nothing that they saying, but they knew what you. But you knew what they wanted, though, didn't you? I'm just fucking with y'all.
Nothing they were saying. Yeah.
Universal language. I'm sorry.
But yeah, the unit I went to over there was field artillery.
Oh yeah.
Tanks, and while I was there, I actually got to drive an M1A1 Abrams.
Really?
Yes.
How fast some things go?
45 miles an hour.
Holy shit, really? I never would have thought that.
It is amazing.
How heavy are they? Do you know?
Oh, my God. I would hate to even guess, but the trailer that they actually haul them on is special built just for that tank.
Oh,
it's actually got 20 tires under it.
Oh, wow.
Every one of them turns independently.
Wow.
Whenever you turn the steering wheel, every one of them turns the opposite direction to where the trailer swings wide. Yeah. That way you can make sharp turns with it and not run shit over.
I got you. Damn. I learned a plethora of stuff. That's a new word for you kids out there. Look it up. Go ahead, buddy.
But yeah, they run and rough. That is, you swear up and down, you run a square-wheeled wagon. They are rough.
Just think about the bastards that was. No, I don't mean that in the wrong way. It's just the way I talk. But the people that were fought in World War II in those tanks. Could you imagine trying to do that? If he had luxury.
Oh yeah. The ones now are. I mean, they're considered Cadillacs compared to what they had in back then. I mean, the Sherman tanks and all, they could literally fit inside the tanks now.
You know, they
It's all
say
size
a
difference.
lot of the older people say that was the greatest generation ever. The people who fought in that war because of the conditions and the way it was. You know what I mean? And the stuff they had to go through.
Oh yeah,
The logistics of doing everything they did, doing this, doing that, going there, and like, yeah, we're going to drop you off here. What is that? Well, don't worry about it. You're going to land here.
Yeah.
And it might be 6 miles away. Well, just hike back. You're fine. Don't worry about it.
But,
Yeah.
And two, you look at the advancement in technology now. Everything in tanks now is all computerized. You just punch in a bunch of numbers, and the tank automatically fires. It zeroes in and fires whenever you hit the button to fire.
Yeah.
Theirs was all analog.
Yeah.
They had to sit there and turn a crank to get everything to turn.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'd have been the guy like, hey, shoot that thing over to the right. I'm not doing none of that work. Just a little bit more. How could you now? Pull the trigger, somebody. Shit.
Hey, throw one over there and see where it hits.
Yeah.
Go to the left a little.
Yeah, we used to have a guy work for me named Nuts. I'd be the guy. Nuts, goddammit! Pull the trigger! If y'all knew Nuts, you would understand that. Trust me.
But yeah, and if you're claustrophobic,
Yeah.
tank driver and tanks nowadays is not for you because you have absolutely no room.
I imagine they have a size requirement, right? I
Yes.
mean, so you're saying I can't be in there?
No. You might could get in, but you ain't getting back out.
Well, that's what she said.
Really, when
I'm sorry.
the tanker's hatch that you got to crawl down in to get in
Yeah.
the driver's position
Yeah.
is relatively comparable to the size of a 55-gallon drum.
Oh yeah. You ain't getting in there.
I'm not getting in or out. Not unless I'm dead first. You just shove me off in there.
But yeah, somebody that's like 6 foot or taller, they're going to be miserable because if the shorter you are, the better off you are because you got more headroom.
I understand, yeah.
And that armor plating is not forgiving whenever your head goes to bouncing around.
Yeah, I
It
imagine.
hurts.
Wow. Wonder how much some things cost.
Oh, you're talking million plus.
Wow. Crap.
But yeah,
Damn.
they're expensive.
Wow. All right, go ahead. Go on with still on with your rest of your.
After I left there, I went down to Fort Polk, Louisiana, and
Fort Polk.
yeah, I actually volunteered to go there, and everybody that was there before I got there, whenever they found out I volunteered to come there, they're like, "Are you stupid?" I'm like, no, I'm home.
I mean, why'd they say that? I mean, was it bad? Is it hot? Is it all
Well,
the
I
crazy
mean,
people are there? I
you
mean,
know how
Fucking
it was.
Louisiana, you know it's hot.
I mean, you walk outside and it's 110% humidity. So, and no, down there, you have no malls, no movie theaters right there in the immediate area.
I
You got to
got you.
drive for just a little ways to get to all that.
yeah.
And if you're from the city, that is not the place you want to be.
But no titty clubs over there by the base is what you're saying.
Yeah, it was one about
There you go.
6 miles from the back from the
Sex
gate.
and war goes everywhere.
but that's the one everybody always talks
Hey,
about.
there was a badass fucking club, excuse my language, in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. I can't remember the name. I think it was called the Cat's Meow. And it was set up right outside the base.
Oh, that's not.
And they only open one day a week. They open at 12 o'clock on Sundays and close at midnight on Sundays. And they made all their money that one Sunday.
Yeah.
Girls from hundreds of miles would get off the night before a little bit early so they could get a little bit of rest. And they had to be in the building, dressed, with no scars, no tattoos, no marks on their body whatsoever. So if you had a tattoo, the old school way was you had to cover it
Yeah.
up a certain way. They had to be ready, dressed, and ready to perform at 12 p.m. exactly. Because when they come off that base, that little club would fill up with hundreds of men
Yep.
in 10 minutes. It was wild, wild, wild. What? Yee!
Look, I'll tell you, and the girls that work at them clubs, right there at post, 2 times a month, they liable to go to work at night, and they liable to leave with $4,000 or $5,000.
Oh, yeah. I know I
And
spent every damn dollar I had in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. God love you over there in
Well,
sunshine. Hey,
A lot of soldiers do that. I mean, they'll go in there and they'll blow their whole check. And
I don't blame them.
the reason it's twice a month is because on the 1st and the 15th is when they get paid,
Yeah, that's right.
and then by the 16th they're broke.
I tell you what, if I didn't work in one, I know I'd be in one all the time. Because I love strippers. I'm sorry. We went to another subject. I got lost. I'm sorry.
Kind of drifted off.
Yeah, you know how it is. I mean, I'm just sick like that. You know?
Yeah.
I'm
My unit at Polk was military police.
Really?
Yeah.
So you had to go in there and arrest people whenever they messed up.
Well, my job while I was actually a mechanic and a wrecker operator.
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
My on paperwork, my job was light wheel vehicle mechanic, vehicle recovery.
Okay, yeah.
They'll give you a name like that, telling you what your job is. Then in the records, it's an actual number.
I got you.
And mine was 63 Bravo Hotel 820.
What exactly does that mean?
Light wheel vehicle mechanic, vehicle recovery. The 20
Sorry about that. My phone went off. I
indicates your rank.
apologize. Yeah.
Whenever you're all of that, whenever you're a 10, you're an E4 or below. Whenever you go to 20, that means you're E5, and then whenever you go to E6, it goes up a number.
So how much is a paycheck difference between the E3 and the E6?
Oh God, that's
Or E4? I mean, is it drastic?
well from now the pay scale. Whenever I was in from
Yeah.
E3 to E4, your pay raise per month was maybe $400.
Shit, that's a lot of money.
Well, whenever
Even today.
oh yeah, whenever I was at E5 with 9 years in,
Yeah.
I was making just oh God, I think it was like $3,400 a month.
You was rich, wasn't you?
Oh, back in I was
Man.
rolling into money.
That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah.
But I mean, but then too, whenever you're in the benefit, everybody's like, "Oh, well, you're not making much." Like, no, when you look at everything I'm getting, look, I'm making.
Yeah.
Because you get medical, dental, vision, housing.
If I know they gave me dental, I know I'd have went in for 4 years. My teeth suck. Shit, I can't even eat a piece of meat barely anymore. But that's my fault. I can tell you a hell of a story about that when I was stage, but I'm not going to get into that right now. That's for another show. Yeah, he was. I wish you'd have been there, boy. Yeah, damn, I can't even remember all of it. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But yeah,
Well,
then-
your mic working?
I
I'm just messing with my little friend.
Wait.
He's a quiet side of type.
Show around, just don't shut the fuck up.
We like to talk, man. Goddamn.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Fort Polk was actually my last duty station. I actually injured my knee again when I was at Fort Polk. We were doing training, and I was carrying probably 120, 130 pounds on my back. It was the tripod and extra barrel and all for the 50 caliber machine gun. Stepped in a washout and folded my knee 90 degrees sideways.
God.
Bad thing is, though, the medic came over and seen it and almost passed out because I took my other foot and shoved my leg back straight and popped it back in.
I'm being 100% honest with you. Just now when you told that, my foot went straight to sleep as soon as you said that shit. My left leg is hurting so damn bad right now. I don't have no blood going in that bastard right now. I got 1,000,000 needles running through that. God damn.
But yeah, I did. I
Production team, come rub my feet.
But yeah, the bad thing was I actually popped my knee back into place.
Wait, by yourself?
Yes. And whenever it popped, the medic actually fell to her knees.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I shit my pants. I just know
no,
me.
She did. She turned white as a sheet. I thought she was gonna pass out.
Godly.
I was like, "Look, just leave me alone. Give me a minute."
Yeah.
I sat there for. They already had done call for a truck to come pick me up and carry me to the hospital. And I'm like, "Just leave me alone." I got up and started walking around. About 10 minutes later.
Well, Philip's a man's man, I guess, because I'd still be laying down somewhere. I'm just calling like I see it. I'm just not that tough, I guess. God damn, my hemorrhoids are hurting right now to listen to the story. I'm just saying. In fact, production team, somebody bring my hemorrhoid cushion. Hey guys, how y'all doing over there? All right, it's good to see y'all today. We call our production women fluff girls. Anyway, let's move along.
But yeah, I had that happen, and I actually walked on it and done PT and everything for about a week, and it was swole up real big, couldn't hardly walk.
Yeah.
Commander carried me to the hospital, said, "You're going to get checked." Well, after Commander carried me, it was maybe a week later, I was having surgery.
Oh, wow. Damn.
Then right after that, I can't remember how many days it was when 9/11 happened. I was actually laying on the couch, recovering from surgery when it happened.
Really? 'Cause
Yeah.
I was going to ask you if you were active during that time. And
Yeah. Like I said,
shit hit the fan after that.
I was laying on the couch recovering from surgery, and I'm laying there on the couch high as all get out, and I, honest to God, thought I was watching a movie.
Look, I remember when that happened. I was working for a company named Bluff Janitor Supply. What was you in, first grade? Maybe. I'm just fucking with him. Anyway, I was working, and my mother called me, and I was like, hello, whatever, and she's like, oh, son, it's horrible. A plane accidentally hit one of the big buildings in New York City. I said, man, that's horrible, and whatever. Talk for just a split second. I said, Mother, I gotta go. Mom, I'm busy. I gotta go. And she called me back. The phone rang like a couple more times, and I answered it, just whatever, people answering, asking questions about the business and making orders and stuff. Then I answered again, and it was my mother again. And it's a tone of voice I had never heard, from my mother. Son, we're under attack. And she hung up on me.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. So there's another lady that worked in there with us that was roughly my mother's age. And I turned and looked at her. I said, that was my mom. She said, we're under attack. And of course she did and I cut the radio on it. And as soon as I did, it was a national broadcast I remember them saying a terrorist act had happened in New York City, and everything was grounded, and it said something else, then it did that long
Yeah.
and when it came back, the announcer from that radio station was River 101 out of Vicksburg, Mississippi. They were crying on there, and they were trying to read whatever they were given to do what what I'm saying. And that was a hell of a day. It was bad. It was real bad.
It was. And like I said, I was laying there thinking I'm watching a movie, recovering from surgery,
Yeah.
and now, by the grace of God, I made it out of my house, made it to my unit. All right. I ain't even supposed to be off the couch. And she's my ex-wife now, but she went over to the neighbor's house to visit with them whenever I left. So she thought I was in there laying down to sleep.
Yeah.
No, I'm on post at my unit, walking in there on crutches, raising all kind of hell to get the armor in here. Let's go.
Yeah, the
They thought
patriotism kicked in. This is my country. That's right, yeah.
They're like, what are you doing here? How did you get here was the next question. And they had to fill me in on all this like a couple days later whenever I come back down.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And whenever they're telling me, I'm like, you're joking, right? They're like, no, you came into the unit screaming, hollering. We didn't know what was going on.
That was crazy. That was
And-
wild as shit.
Yeah.
I don't know how old y'all are, but that was wild. How old? When were you born, baby? 91, the year it happened, okay. When were you born?
87.
I'm talking to our production staff right now. When were you born, Boo?
92.
Goddamn, it's like me and Philip. It's just the old son of a bitches in the room, I guess.
Yes, I mean, shit.
We can tell y'all some stories.
I was joining the Army whenever he was born.
1992, I was running from the law. That's a lie. It was bad, though. I promise you. It wasn't good. Wherever I was at, I promise you it wasn't good. That was some crazy shit, though.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that was the next morning. I remember the next morning. It was crazy. Where I worked at, my driver and I had to go run deliveries to where they were building the new hospital in Vicksburg, Mississippi, right there, River Region. and they were still, it was still in the building process. I mean, there wasn't
Oh,
shit
yeah.
going out there. And I'm not trying to sound no way, but when we got to that job site and we backed up to do our stuff, there was literally no brown people on the job because of what happened the day before. Patriotism, people kicked in. They were trying to take it out on people that had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
That's mob mentality, by the way. Mob mentality is horrible, horrible, horrible. But that's the truth.
Oh yeah.
Because I asked the guy, I said, where's all the lumpers and shit at around here, man? What's going on? Would y'all quit? He's like, man, there ain't no brown people on the job today. They were threatened when they pulled up. I was like, oh, bro. A lot of them guys were good, though. You know,
Yeah,
good people. They were Spanish or whatever. I mean, they didn't have shit to do with that. But, you know, mob mentality said, you're not my skin color. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Your brother did that. No, bro. I'm from Tijuana. You know what I mean? I'm not from there. Yeah, but that's how bad it was.
Yeah, it was.
It was bad for you young people that didn't know. It was bad.
Yeah, no.
Real bad.
Yeah, when all that happened, every military base, everywhere, whether it was overseas, here, wherever, they called. They'd done a alert. Everybody that lived off post and on post, actually, everybody received a phone call and was told, get to your unit and get there now.
Oh yeah,
And then hung up.
that's right.
Well, me, like I said, I just had knee surgery. Well, I called my squad leader and was like, hey, do I need to come in? That was the very first thing that was said after I said, do I need to come in? Are you stupid?
Yeah.
You just had knee surgery. You're not answering, do I need to come in? They're like, no, you can't do nothing.
Yeah.
Stay home.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
it was 4 days before they let post off a lockdown.
Wow. It was crazy right there in Vicksburg because of Waterways Experiment Station. It's a military outpost
Yeah.
right there where they do all the, whatever. And it was crazy. Because I live right there beside it. If you throw a rock at it, you wouldn't be here today. I promise you that.
No.
Really, I mean, that's kind of that's how it happened. You know
Oh
what I
yeah.
mean? I couldn't imagine going through Vietnam the way a lot of those men did and women did that went over there to Vietnam because the government made them, and they did what they had to do because that's what they had to
Oh
do.
yeah.
Then when they got home, the people here were hearing all that bullshit and treated those men and women roughly,
Yeah.
wrongly, incorrectly, and that's the truth of the matter.
Yeah.
I wasn't alive, during that time, but that's the truth,
Yeah.
And some of my friends are veterans from the Vietnam. Mr. Billy Polk, great friend of mine, did 3 tours. At the end of his 3rd tour, he got 17 holes in him.
Yeah.
That's how he came back, and he said he was more scared of Jackson, Mississippi, when he came home from the war after he got out of the hospital because of the way people treated him.
Yeah.
He said you didn't know if some crazy lunatic was going to run up with a sign and a gun and shoot you.
Yeah.
He said I knew who I was fighting over there. I had no idea who to trust over here.
Yeah.
And that's sad. That's from a veteran
Yeah,
from the
well,
Vietnam.
Yeah, it was very sad because people were going off of what they were receiving through the news. They
Yes.
wasn't getting the full story. They were just getting the part that made us look bad.
That's right. You're right. Go ahead, Tim. I know you got some questions. You were telling me before.
I'm listening. Go
No,
ahead.
go ahead. Go
Oh,
ahead,
wait,
bud.
it's
My damn
Look,
leg's still
it's
asleep,
over.
everybody. I'm sorry.
ahead,
He scared the shit out of me a little while ago. My leg, I'm trying to wake it up now.
Hey,
Hey,
look.
production team, rest of the production team showing up. Mr. Punkin over there. T-Bone's in the house. How y'all doing today, guys?
only
Good to
half
see y'all.
hour
Thank
late.
y'all for coming.
Dude, I'll tell you, whenever I went in, it was one of them. I thought I was indestructible, and now that I'm out, I'm older. It's caught up big time. Had I known then what I know now, I would have took it a little bit easier.
Did you kill anybody?
That
I'm just fucking with you.
it's one of them.
I'm just fucking with you.
Well, we was actually.
I was
caught in a
told not to ask you
situation
that. That's the reason why I asked
Yeah.
you that.
we
Sure, don't ask him about that. Okay, buddy. I sure want. Did you kill anybody? They should have never said not to do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking do it immediately.
Well, I mean, it's one of them, and with VA and all, soldiers dealing with PTSD real bad.
I'm glad you brought that word up. They should never change it from fucking shell shock.
Yeah.
Everybody would be
they
getting
had
the
to
proper
make it-
treatment.
Yeah, they had to make it sound fancy. That's all it was.
Fuck fancy.
But one of the reasons they changed it from shell shock is shell shock was from artillery rounds and stuff like that.
You're right.
They changed it to PTSD because it's post-traumatic stress.
But let me ask you a question, because you was in there. You know. We're older. Do you think they received better treatment if they left it as shell shock, or they got better treatment as PTSD? And I already know the answer, but you can go ahead and say
It wouldn't matter whether it was shell shock, PTSD, or booger flicking. The treatment that a lot of soldiers receive is nowhere near what treatment they need.
And that's motherfucking hog shit. Just put that out there.
I mean, me being a veteran and dealing with it firsthand, the health care for veterans is it is pathetic that as a veteran we have to fight for every bit of health care that we get so hard.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to fill out paperwork for days.
For nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
well, we have to have a paper trail 4 miles long to submit saying this actually is what's wrong. This happened while I was in service, and for it to be sent somewhere and them say, well, we don't think it happened.
It's like they think it's their fucking money.
Yes, that is the thing right there. A lot of them act, and they don't know shit from Shinola about what we go through, what we went
Motherfucker,
through.
you was hired to write some shit down. Write it down and push it down the
A
line.
lot of them have never served a single day in the service.
That's right.
And they're the ones saying whether or not we...
That's who they should hire in those positions.
Exactly. They should.
So
put
when you come in there and
veterans
say,
that position.
you say, well, do you want to kill yourself? Well, that person who's asking that question knows.
They know.
They know.
Yep.
Like, I don't know.
Yep.
I want to kill you sometimes. Sometimes I want to kill them.
Yeah.
You know, men and women are going through that. But yet on this side, this person they hired is, well, I want my $9 an hour. Are you sure you're feeling that way? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
That's one of the problems.
Yes, lots of them never have been in the service, never have had the personal dealings with any of it, and they're the ones that are saying, "Well, we'll let him have disability for this." That I mean, you can clap your hands, and some of them drop down on the floor in the fetal position because what they went through.
I knew some men when they came back from going over there during our conflicts we had with those people over there for a little while. I mean, when he came in the bar, he was sitting up there. I was bartending back then, and one of my waitresses had like 4 or 5 beers, and she chunked them in the garbage can. It's not loud to me.
Yes.
But that made him immediately, he just, he was ready. If you'd have been there in an aggressive manner behind him, not knowing what he had went through, you'd have been another story.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say that like that. And
it's true.
It's true, though, because he went through some shit. He saw something. He felt something that people like me never felt, and I never will. I mean, I would have if something like that happened when I was younger, I know whatever I had to do. But that's a sad situation with the VA. There's a man in Vicksburg, Mississippi right now, and I'm not going to use his name because he has a business. He went to the VA. He's in bad shape. Older he gets, the worse he gets.
Yep.
Physically and mentally. But he's still out there trying to do what he's got to do to make a living and do whatever. Now, he's older, but he's out there trying, okay? And this woman that he was talking to made him feel so bad about even coming and complaining about some of the things he was talking about, saying he needed help, that he left there crying. He went out there and sat in his car and contemplated taking his own life because that worthless piece of shit bitch on the other side of the goddamn table felt like, whatever, you'll be fine. Sleep it off. What? Whore, this ain't your money.
Yeah, and
Take this goddamn shit, move it down the line like you're supposed to do. Take care of that man. Give him a fucking hug. You don't know what he's been through.
Oh yeah, and there's actually a deal that all veterans are part of it. It's called 22 and 1.
Yes.
22 veterans in their life every minute. And
That's sad.
As veterans, we get on Facebook.
That's sad.
Any social media that we're on, be it Twitter, whatever. We throw up stuff every now and then of 22 and 1. You're not alone. You need someone to talk to. Contact me. I don't know you, but contact me. There should never be another one go down.
That's right. I totally agree with that.
And
if you treat them properly when they came home, men and women.
Yes.
Old, young, black, white, I don't give a fuck about that. You treat them a lot better. There'd be a lot more fucking people here today, or they wouldn't be living in the streets.
That's one thing right there. Is
I have a big thing about that, you know. I mean, I never served, but people in my family did. His brother maybe did, or maybe his father did, or his mother. So I have an attachment to it. One of my best friends in the whole world, his name is Matthew Scott. I love him to death. I've been knowing him. Hell, I thought he was a mute for a whole year. He used to be so quiet, you know. I mean, that's he's in the Army. He does explosive ordnance disposal now.
That's a man right there.
Hey, and I worry about him every day.
That in my opinion, that job right there has got. I mean, I don't care what you can be. Field artillery, MP, infantry. That job right there.
Yeah.
Look, I don't see how. He's got to carry his balls around in 5-gallon buckets.
Hey, bro, he says he leaves them in a dump truck behind the building when he walks in the door.
I believe it.
And he's a man's man. Matthew Scott, he's a man's man. Trust me.
That right, them are, in my opinion, them are men right there.
He's I love him to death. I think about him all the time because I'm always worried about where they have to send him to do what he has to do.
Yeah.
For a little while, he was on like the presidential detail. Whenever the president was heading that way, he did that. But you know, detail changes, and you don't never know where he's at. But I don't want that phone call.
Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna be honest with you, that would just ruin me.
Shoot, my hands go to shaking trying to light a firecracker. Imagine what I mean. He's dealing with bombs.
Yeah. That's a hell of a dude, man.
That's why I say, look, that's men right there.
Oh, he's great dude. Is he not punking? Matthew Scott is one of the best people. Y'all know him. You know, speaking to my production people back behind us, great guy. I mean, you know, he's great. He's wow.
When I was in, whenever I was in Germany, we actually had a sniper assigned to our unit. Them are some weird men right there. They are.
Well, you got to lay in the grass 4 days, get one shot. I'm not laying down for 4 minutes.
Look, you could be standing out in the middle of a clear field, and all of a sudden, this son's going to show up standing behind you. And you're like, where did you come from? But yeah, and a lot of them prefer to be by themselves. They'll come out and visit, but they won't hang around. They'll come out, talk a minute or so, and then they gone.
I got you. Yeah.